Today with the VEVOR half-inch drive impact socket set. And this is a fairly substantial box. This is 32 pounds. Okay. Now look at that. So I am noticing a light coating of oil on these things, so we don't have to worry about rust while it's in shipment. We got our standard on the bottom, we got our metric on the top, so we have two sets in one. We also have our standard depth sockets as well as our deep well sockets. We got from a 3/8 up to a 1 1/4 in both the standard and deep well. 3/8, 7/16, half-inch, 9/16, 5/8, 11/16, 3/4, 13/16, 7/8, 15/16, 1, 1 1/16, 1 1/8, and 1 1/4. So there are no skips here on the standard. So I love seeing that. For our metric, we got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So there are no skips between a 10 and a 24. That is very rare. Quite often I'll see they'll skip on things like the 11 or the 23. This is a full complete set. Again, we got the exact same sizes, 10 up to a 24 in the metric. We have a swivel adapter, so if you need to bend around an angle, we can drop one of these sockets on there, and we'll have an impact ready socket to make that happen. We have a few extensions, and those are labeled. We got a 5-inch, a 3-inch, and a 10-inch. Of course, you can stack them all together and have 18 inches of extension if you need that. And one thing I am also noticing with these is that those are drilled out all the way through. So if you want to, you could use a pin and O-ring just to make sure these don't come off of your impact. We also have a couple of size adapters, so you can go from a 3/8 up to a 1/2 inch. So if you have a 3/8 ratchet, but you want to use a larger size socket, use one of these sockets with a smaller ratchet. And we can also go the other way. So if you want to have a 1/2 inch, like this ratchet that comes with it, so it's definitely a very heavy duty feeling ratchet, but if we want to use that with a 3/8 socket, we can still do that. This is a push button release, so you can see as we push that button in, that will allow that detent to drop down. So whenever you're working on a vehicle, if you need to change out your socket, you can simply do that one-handed without having to worry about it. That is something I always like to see because quite often I have one hand occupied and I need to change the size out. With this, we can actually do that. There's a fairly coarse feeling ratchet mechanism on it. A finer ratchet will allow you to have a smaller degree of swivel, but a coarse feeling ratchet, in my opinion, is better for heavy torque applications because that means the teeth are bigger, so you don't have to worry about damaging this ratchet. We do have a couple of torque screws right here, so if you want to, we could open this guy up and replace the grease if we want to. It does have a nice rounded handle, and I also like seeing that they actually have a texture on there. It has a knurled grip, so it's going to be very good even if you have oil on your hands to prevent it from slipping. And we can see we got the branding right there on the handle. And if we look at those sockets, we can see those are all 6-point. They are also drilled out on the corners, so that's going to be good for off-corner loading. And the hexes on the shallows appear to go all the way down, and on the deep well sockets, the hexes appear to go about halfway down, so they end right about here. In my opinion, that's a good thing because that means we're going to be able to put our nut in. We're not going to have to worry about pushing this all the way down. We're still going to have plenty of grip on there in the event that we're dealing with something like a long lug nut. So excellent design with these sockets. Cool. So overall, those are some excellent sockets.